Alright, so hear me out. This is probably the most sinful build I've ever made, and you'll understand why pretty quickly. And no, before you ask, it's not what you're thinking. It's actually because we made a build from the anime 7 Deadly Sins. But weirdly, it's quite cute and adorable, and I'm really a big fan of it, so I don't know. Hey Terraria fans, welcome back to another speed build video. Guys, yes, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we are going to be making a build from 7 Deadly Sins, and if you're a little bit familiar with anything you're seeing in the thumbnail or the show at all, which I'm not, it's actually going to be the Boar Hat Tavern, which I guess is kind of their main headquarters in that show, and I think it's a pig that runs around with a hat on. I'm not sure if it transforms or what the deal is, but I thought it looked really interesting and really kind of kooky, and I just thought, hey, this is a really good opportunity to try something a little bit different. Now, while I don't know the actual show, I do think that this turned out quite good. I especially like the way the roof design kind of comes together. It's kind of got these panels or segments, and I did a little bit of work around different paints being used, and I think overall it just has a really nice feel. So if you're familiar with the show at all, I think I might have hit this out of the park. I don't know, I'm just kind of patting myself on the back here. And if you'd like to see me hit other builds out of the park, guys, do feel free to tune in to the Twitch channel. Link is down below, where you can catch me building some of these epic designs live. And if not, guys, you can always just, hit the like, the subscribe, or the little dinner bell thingy, so you can know when the next video hits the old universe. Now guys, before we hop into the build, do stay tuned until the end of the video because I will be covering all of the materials that you're going to need should you want to replicate this or make something similar. So yeah, make sure you check that out. All right guys, with all that said, I'm going to shut up now. Let's get to the build, shall we? All right, so with the speed build done very well, speedily, we're going to go ahead and cover all of the materials that I used to actually put this Boar Hat Tavern together. And that's going to actually include exactly everything you see right here. And again, guys, I encourage you to pause the video at this moment if you're looking to get a closer look. But given the kind of complexity of the build and the color palette, there's actually nothing all that surprising. A couple of features here, guys. We did use some iron brick and some bubble as well as some platinum brick. Again, very sparingly in only a few spots, but generally you'll be able to see it fairly quickly. The idea here was obviously use these for some of the support structures and the kind of awnings that are hanging over with balconies. I thought it looked fairly good. Otherwise, nothing really all that special. I mean, we used a little bit of streamer, we used some wrought iron fence and some copper brick wall, which I am using a little bit more. And for the main part of the building, guys, we used some white dynasty wall and a combination of offline amber and offline amethyst to make some of those kind of windowed patterns where they look like they're actually, well, offline. For paints, guys, we used some white paint, some deep orange paint, some orange paint, and some yellow and some deep lime paint. Now, the idea here was to kind of make this interesting pattern on the roof and just kind of make it look a little more different. The lime paint was, of course, for the base of the build and the wood around it, and I think it looks pretty good. But again, some of you guys who are a little bit more, I guess, connoisseurs of 7 Deadly Sins can tell me if this actually looks, well, like the original, and hopefully I'm not wrong. But again, this is everything that I use. So guys, if you want to make something similar, this is what you'll need. If you want to make your own version, guys, feel free to kind of tweak this and maybe try your own materials that maybe look a little bit better. Because again, this is really my first attempt at this, and I think you could probably do a better job with a little bit more time. And speaking of time, that is all the time we're going to dedicate to the materials, guys. So let's get on with the rest of the video. All right, guys, so there you go. There is the Boar Hat Tavern from 7 Deadly Sins, a show I have not watched that I think looks pretty good. Now, I will say that there are some details I'm not so fond of. I think the roof, at least the tip of the roof, the very top, doesn't look the best. I wasn't really able to make it look quite the way I wanted, but overall it looks pretty good. And I do like that there's a little tiny detail there, which is going to be the green painted pig, which looks good because it's just a little piggy bank and really fits the theme of build. But otherwise, guys, I really do think the rest of this build came together quite nicely. I really like just the ambient detail with the trees, but also the way the roof and the shading on it came together. As you can see, I used a few different paints just to add some little details and discoloration to the roof, and I just think it brings this whole thing together. Of course, that's just my opinion, so do let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is there some detail that I missed, or what did you like? And of course, guys, if there's any builds that you would like to see in the future, be it from your favorite show or something you just want to see, do let me know about that as well, because I tend to look at the comments and take some suggestions, so you never know, we might actually go ahead and build that. And with that, guys, we're done. So thank you so much for staying until the end of this video, and as always, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. We will see you in the next one.